everybody, Mark here. Today for dinner I'm going to be having some roast chicken. It's actually Hunter's chicken. Now you'll have seen these before. I'll try and put a... That's the thing, I can't... It doesn't really focus very close for some reason, this high definition camera, but it says Hunter's chicken, £4 down to £1. This was... I bought this on the 1st or the 4th, so it's been in the freezer for about a month and a couple of weeks, because I bought a whole bunch of different stuff at the time. So I'm finally getting around to it. So £4 down to £1, so we've got a discounted chicken dinner, which is this. There we are, 2 chicken breast. Let me see, has it got bacon on it? It's got some bacon on it, and it's got some cheese on it. There we are. So that's gonna, and it comes in its own tray, which you've seen before. You can. I used to reuse these to do roast potatoes and whatnot. Anyway, okay, let me see. It's going to go in the oven for 190 for 30 minutes, which it's been my experience, it takes slightly longer than that, but I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to put it in the oven and come back and tell you about the potatoes. Okay, so that's in the oven, and that's going to take about half an hour. Meantime, there you go. Adjust the viewfinder. That's better. I had a bit of trouble with the viewfinder. Okay, and also I'm going to be... this is sort of like 3 sort of fairly good sized potatoes. These are just regular... the last couple of bags I had to get was that Maris Piper potatoes, and they really didn't... They're a bit nasty. They're a bit manky and rubbish. But that's all they had. And they're more expensive than these. These are just the basic white potatoes. These are like 99p for 1.5 kilos. The Maris Piper, an extra 50p. And they're, for my money, they're not, they're pretty, not very good. Okay, so anyway, so a boatload of potatoes there. I'm going to be putting these in the microwave and then putting them in the mini oven. Okay, I'm going to go through the drawer of frozen stuff. This you saw the other day. This was a bag of cabbage. Normal price 65p. I don't know if you can see that. I got it for 8p. I don't know what percentage that is, but 8p down from 65. So I've got 3 bags of this. So I'm going to be, every time I'm doing one of these dishes, I'll throw some of this in. At 8p, I can, you know, you can afford to go mad with the cabbage. There you go. Yeah, yeah, a bit more. All right. What else we got? We've got some sweet corn. Nice handful of sweet corn. Oh, some peas. Now these come in the 5 for £5 deal at the Co-op. Peas, there's a bit of carrot, a bit of sweet corn in, a bit of a sort of a mix. There's some of those in there. And broccoli, which I'll have to open up the bag. Okay, I've opened up the bag. I'm going to put a few of these in. 2, 3, yeah, 3, alright, 3, 4. 4 bits of broccoli. Alright, and all the vegetables are in the pan. There we are, and I've put some water in there, just enough to cover the veg, which the broccoli is kind of sticking out of the, you know, above the water, but once that's time to de-thaw, just not cook but defrost the broccoli, I'll start cutting up into little pieces, throw them back in, and it'll be good. Alright, there you go. So yeah, that's going to be sort of cooking for about sort of 10 minutes or so, and later on I'll put it all in the microwave to reheat. Now the potatoes I put in the microwave for about 7 minutes. They're very close to being done, but I'm going to put them in for another 2. Just to, you know, because a couple of them are slightly crunchy. So I'm going to put them in for another 2, and that should do it, and then I'll put them in the air fryer. Now, what I'm doing in the meantime is this broccoli, there we go, there's another bit, yeah, it's defrosted, so what I'm doing, I'm taking it out and then just cutting it up. there you go, cutting it up into manageable bite-sized pieces. I think that was it. I think I've done the rest. Oh no, there's one more. Yeah, because what I don't want to do is, you know, cook it as this size and then have to cut it up in the bowl, because I'll just be eating with the usual spoon. I don't often go for a knife and fork. I just eat with a spoon. So everything's got to be small and manageable size for the spoon. There we are. Okay, there we go, and I'll just keep on boiling that up, and it'll be done shortly. Right, the potatoes are done. As you can see, well, they're done in the microwave, that is. I put it for 7 minutes, and then for another 2, because they weren't quite... they were still a little bit, you know, what you stick a knife in them or a fork, and if there's any resistance, it means they're not quite done. Anyway, alright, so I'm going to put these in, temperature 180, for about 15 minutes. There you go. Now I'm doing them in the hot air fryer, which is really good. If you get a chance, I would suggest investing in one of those. Partly doing them in there because I'm doing the chicken in the mini oven. Okay, which is right there. Otherwise, I'll have to cook the chicken, take it out, cook the potatoes. That would take more time, and then put them all in the microwave. Yeah, and these come out fine. They don't come out like, you know, like as roasted as roast potatoes. You do them in the oven with oil on it, but there's no oil with them. You see, you just throw them in there, and it's the hot air that cooks it. If you want to see how that works, actually, that particular model, type in Mark's Remarks air fryer. I did a tutorial demonstration of how that works. Mark's Remarks air fryer, and I'll bring that up. Okay, meantime, the veg is still cooking. The chicken is still in the oven. That's got another 15-20 minutes. The potatoes, see, well, once it's all done, I'll just put it on the side here and then just reheat it. Or just waiting on the chicken. The chicken's the longest thing to cook. Okay, the veg is boiled. I've just drained the vegetables into the thing. Now, I'll pass this on because I've just invented it. Alright, this little system. I really don't know why I didn't think of it before. Before, I used to, you've seen me before, get the big pan of veg, scoop out with that little colander thing. Colander? It's like a big spoon with holes in it, right? You just scoop all the veg out, put them into the plate, right? What I did this time was, I put the colander on top of this little pan, poured all the veg into it and the water drains through, and of course the veg is left in the colander. Now this is the water that I'm going to use for the gravy, and it's already in there. It's just quick, you know, because it takes like 5 minutes to scoop all the veg out. Just pour it in there. The water that's required goes through. The rest of it you can just tip away. There we are. That saves a lot of aggravation. And now I'm just going to put that in the plate, and that's going to be sitting on the side ready for the rest of it to cook. There we are, potatoes are done, they're nice and brown. It took a little bit longer than, see, I put them in for, what was it, 15 minutes, and then I put them in for another 5 or so, I don't know. Anyway, throw them in, just waiting on the chicken to cook. Right, now the chicken is done. I'm going to pour the chicken in, even though it's hot. I'm going to put it in the microwave along with all the potatoes and the veg. There you go. I'm going to wash this out and reuse this at some point. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn on the water. I'm going to boil the water for the veg, for the gravy, which I've already got in the jug. When that starts to boil, I'm going to put this in, and probably about 4 or 5 minutes. Right, let me just do, I almost forgot, let me do a few shout outs. I've got them in the book, and I thought, right, I'm going to do them on the next video, which is now, and I nearly forgot. Now what it is, it's in regard to, just a few days ago, I did a baguette, bread baguette, and it had some sausage, had some gammon, had some cheese, had some gherkin in it. It was, anyway, Mark's Remarks, sausage and gammon and cheese baguette. Have a look at that. And I invited, I'll put the challenge out for viewers to give it a name. Now, I've got 3. Pete Thomas. He has his own channel, by the way. He has his own cookery channel. If you type in Pete Thomas, you'll go to him. He calls it Gob Full of Joy. There you go. Thank you, Pete. Let me see. Steve Jameson. 2 sausages in a foot. Because the bread, the bread was like a foot long piece of bread. So 2 sausages in a foot. Steve Jameson. And Brian Richard Brown calls it Pickled Pig. There you go, because it had sausages and gammon. So Pickled Pig or Pickled Pig Out. So it's sort of like you gave 2 names there. Pickled Pig, Pickled Pig Out. So Pete Thomas, Steve Jameson, Brian Richard Brown. Thank you very much. Right, there we have it. Vegetables, potato, chicken with bacon. I've got some gravy. Let's see, a little bit over. What's it? About half a pint or just over. There we go. Okay. Now there's a lot of veg in here. Some good veg. The chicken I haven't cut up very much. I'll have to do that with a spoon here. But there you have it. The chicken cost £1, down from 4. The cabbage was 8p, and I must have used like 1/3 of a bag, so that's like 2p or so. But yeah, a cheap dinner, wholesome and delicious with the gravy used from the vegetables. Put a little bit of salt on there. Okay. There you have it. And thank you for watching.